know, there's just something about fire. Some of us can just build a fire, sit at the campfire all night long, nothing to do, and we just stare at that fire. Something allures us, brings us in, and somewhere along the lines of our ancestry decided to put a piece of meat on it. Mastodon meat, saber-tooth, I don't know, but it was probably delicious. There's nothing more delicious than making a fire, putting some meat over that fire, and then eating it. It also brings us together. We're a community. We hang around a fire together. This is something that I've been wanting for quite a while, and I haven't pulled the trigger on it yet because I haven't found the right one. It has to be a good balance of efficiency, cost, and size. I'm just one person. Sometimes I have a few people over, but I'm not gonna cook for 50 people right now. I have this guy, this pellet smoker. Absolutely love it to death. It does everything I need it to do, but sometimes you want to sear something. Sometimes you just want to do a small amount of something. Sometimes you just want that charcoal smoke. Sometimes you want that wood fire smoke that's just a little bit different than this pellet smoker. So I took to the internet and I started researching, and I came up with a few different options. One of the green ones of the same size was roughly $600, $700, but I found an efficient 14, 15 inch grate, all cast iron with a thick wall, $180. I mean, you can't beat that. I just got it in, so I'm gonna unpack it with you guys, and we're gonna start a fire. We're gonna try it out. This is what I got. Char-Griller Akorn Jr. It's what I've always wanted as my 6-year-old at Christmas comes out. Look at that. Look at this bad boy. It's got a hinge on the back. I thought the top would be ceramic. It's not. It is double walled, which is nice. It's got a nice braided gasket right here that keeps the heat in. It's riveted, so if that does come out, you could also put some Tech screws in it. Porcelain interior withstands high heat, and you've got a nice little gauge. So put that to the side. Pieces. Squeaky styrofoam. I am going to pick that up. This is the bottom, and you've got a little air valves right here, right? It's also got one on top. So let's put this to the side. Mystery box. Doesn't fit. Got a little metal grate. I'm gonna have to set this down because I'm short. All right. This is a nice cast iron grate that goes on it. We're going to need to oil this and keep up with this, otherwise it'll rust. I got more things. It's a flagpole holder for Flag Day, I guess. Yeah? No. Top vent. I guess this is for your picking up the grill grate without burning your hands. All right, we got the center of the grill where you can lift it up, dump in your coals or extra pieces of wood for a fire. I'm gonna pick this stuff up. I got trash all over my yard because the wind's blowing, so I'll be right back. So while you were waiting, just looking at these look like they take a Phillips head or maybe a 7/16. Looks like a 1/4 bolt. I picked these up just because I paid a lot of money for this. Mainly as I want to be manly. I don't want to break it. So don't tell anyone. It says use a 1/4 by 3/4. I was right, I told you 1/4. Now I've got a drill on this, so when you hit enough tension or resistance, the clutch will slip. You can adjust the clutch where it's gonna break everything, and we're gonna break this. So I'm gonna bring it down to about maybe 10 on this setting. That should prevent us from actually stripping anything out, breaking any bolts, or having any problems. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna check the fit. Feels pretty good. Number 3 Phillips is a little bit more stout. Number 2 Phillips is more of a standard size. So this one fits in there with no wiggle room. Number 2 Phillips has a lot of wiggle room, so we want a nice tight fit. That's what she. We're gonna start all these by hand. I've got all these started, but before I tighten any of these, I'm actually gonna align the top to make sure that it's situated correctly. So if you look at this, it doesn't quite line up. But if I tilt this back, I don't know if you can see, but there's a spacer here. There's not one here. And I guess at some point when they were putting it together, someone thought that it was not aligned, so they put a spacer in to even it out, but it just doesn't fit. I'm gonna take this out and remove the spacer, and I bet it's gonna fit. All right, now you're seeing it with me. What's it look like? Man, would you look at that? Lines up perfectly. So if it doesn't line up, check the back for a spacer. I just found this out and I fixed it myself because I'm the man. Side handles, guess they go there. Always hand start these because you might cross thread them. Sun setting, do you really want to go to your local hardware store to get a tap and die set just to chase these threads because your family's hungry and they're waiting for dinner? I don't think so. Take your damn time. Ah, power tools. Oh yeah. Now I also have a screwdriver, and if you want to just double check, I really can't get it any tighter, but we're not stripping anything out and it seems pretty tight. That's a good way to make sure that your setting is correct. Legs, where's my leg? I guess we're gonna flip her on her head. You know, while I'm doing this, you should probably put your thinking cap on. Think of a name for this grill. Whoa! Be careful, don't let her roll off. I'm thinking Humpty Dumpty. Leave a comment with your favorite name you think I should call this thing. And if you already have one, what do you call yours? We're gonna flip her upside down. Guess she's going right here. I'm actually gonna use my hand tool. But I really need this in here for it to work. There we go. Let's tighten it down. Run them down until you can't run them down no more. Make it too tight because too tight's loose. All right, I like it. It lines up perfectly. So I want to make sure that these little indicators where you open it up 1 through 5 is on the front. Now we're going to put this pan in with this on top. Watch. You ready? Making sure, I guess you can go any which way. I mean, which way is left in a circle, you know? This is going to go right on top. Going to put my grate in. Well, that's kind of cool. I'll show you. You put it in, you can keep it on top. You can drop it down to the next level to be closer to the fire. This just goes in right like that. Like you got these little square inserts. You can take it out. You take the whole thing out. Look at that. Now that I've put this together, we're done. You can go ahead and turn it off. But I think you want to see me make a fire. So originally when I bought this, I was thinking, well, I'll take this with my pop-up camper. And then I had a second thought and thinking, it's ceramic, it's gonna break. Now my third thought is, it's not ceramic, it's not gonna break. I can actually build a mount to it and put it on my camper. If you've ever had a pop-up camper, I'll show you mine. If you show me yours. I've got a 2005 Fleetwood Colonial. I love it. It's got the air conditioning on it if I need it, but I usually don't use it. So it's got a mount on the side where I can put a gas grill, but I also want to be able to build something where I can build this kind of fire and do some cooking underneath the awning, and I think that'd be fantastic. 2 to 4 pieces of paper should work. You want it nice and loose. Allow it to light. Now, let's get some charcoal. I'm not sponsored anyway. I'm buying all my own stuff. But I saw this at the store. I've never seen it before. At a local hardware store. Always keep your knife sharp. This is not sharp. Bad boy. So the instructions say to get this cast iron grate and wash it, soap and water, and dry it, and then you spray it with some cooking oil, or rub it down with some cooking oil. We're going to season it, and then when we start the fire, it's going to heat it up, going to bake it in, and that's going to help prevent stuff from sticking. Now I've got these ready. I'm going to go ahead and coat some of it with a coconut cooking oil. I got a little spot over here I can do that with without damaging any vegetation. Alright, looks like we got it. It's all over my hands, but whatever. Heat your grill to 400 degrees for an hour. This will burn off any chemical residues left from shipping and manufacturing and season your cooking grate. Alright, let's do it. I'm going to put it in here instead of putting it inside. So let's add some charcoal, shall we? Whoa, back up. We don't need a whole lot. We're only going to fill this about 3/4 of the way full instead of all the way. Then we need to light it. We just need to start it and let it go. You know, I almost ripped up too much of this to burn before I actually read all the instructions. My recommendation is use the instruction manual in the language you are not fluent in. Got some white ash on some of these. Let's go ahead and dump this. Put this on. It's already getting pretty hot. Coals are looking nice and tempered, and you can already smell some of the fumes just because it's getting hot. So with this, I'm going to open it up about 3/4 of the way. And then I'm going to open up the top. Sitting about 200 and climbing. We're going to open this all the way. Now the bottom's open, and we're going to see how fast it actually climbs. We're already over at 250 degrees after a few minutes. So these are wide open. I've hit about 425. I want to be about 400. So I'm going to close the damper about half. Same with the top. And we're going to let it sit for about 5 minutes and see if it comes back down. If it keeps spiking, we're going to go ahead and choke off the bottom a little bit more. We're almost going to choke out the fire most of the way, just a little bit coming in the bottom. Just sitting at 450. I could go higher, and it doesn't matter to me, but it says 400 for an hour. We're going to do whatever we want, but we're going to try to get 400. So here it is about 30 minutes later. It's pretty hot. Probably maybe 250, 220 on the outside. Pretty hot to the touch. She's reading right on the dot 400 degrees. She hit 450, so we're bringing her down. We need to monitor her. We don't want to snuff her out completely. So I'm gonna open this bottom vent just a little bit and crack the top vent. We're gonna feed some air to her fire just to see if we can maintain 400 degrees for another 30 minutes or so. So thank you for making it all the way through the video with me. I appreciate it. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and go ahead and hit that notifications button so you know when I'm going to get any new products to review or any new camping videos up. I've also got cooking videos that I'm going to be working on. I'll see you guys next time. Miles out, right here.